A private surrogate, once bound by strict NDAs, has allegedly confirmed what many suspected for years. Meghan Markle didn't give birth to Archie, and she was paid to stay silent. From sealed hospital records to vanishing witnesses and now a shocking confession, we're unraveling the truth behind the royal baby scandal that could rewrite everything we know about Meghan, Harry, and Archie. If this surrogate was paid to stay silent, do you think the royals knew? Or was Meghan pulling off a solo cover-up? Drop your theory in the comments, because the next reveal is insane. What if the world's most watched royal birth never actually happened? The moment Meghan introduced Archie, eagle-eyed royal watchers noticed something odd. There was no doctor mentioned, no formal hospital record revealed, and absolutely no signed statement by the delivering staff. Something that's standard in royal births. Instead, a polished PR moment unfolded, with Meghan looking unusually slim just 2 days after delivery. It felt less like a celebration, more like a performance. When basic protocols are skipped, suspicions don't just grow, they explode. Whether it was a carefully choreographed illusion or just an unconventional decision, the lack of medical transparency launched a wildfire of theories. Cortland Hospital was supposedly where Meghan gave birth, but dig a little deeper and something's off. The hospital refused to confirm her admittance. No confirmed staff listed, no hallway sightings. Not even one blurry fan photo, unusual in today's camera-obsessed world. And despite public curiosity, royal aides offered no real answers. It was like the event was scrubbed from history. Most royal births involve some public record. An attending doctor's signature, time of birth, official press confirmation. But Archie's case? Practically a ghost file. Journalists who pushed for documentation were stonewalled or fed vague lines like private arrangements. 2 facts: no paper trail and no footage. That screams cover-up. If you're still watching, you're one of the few who actually wants the whole truth. So hit like and subscribe, because what's coming next has never aired on mainstream media. Soon after Archie's alleged birth, several medical professionals linked to Portland Hospital either abruptly transferred or deleted their online presence. One midwife's social profiles, active for years, vanished completely within 48 hours of Archie's debut. Another reportedly moved to a remote clinic outside London, citing personal reasons. That's not coincidence. That's cleanup. Whispers from inside the palace hint at aggressive NDAs being distributed like candy. Staff who normally shared glowing recollections of royal deliveries suddenly clammed up, refusing interviews, dodging reporters, and steering clear of any Archie-related talk. When truth becomes taboo, someone powerful is pulling strings. The game changer? A woman believed to be Archie's surrogate was quietly living in Surrey until a whistleblower blew her cover. Locals described her sudden wealth, upgraded cars, a paid-off mortgage, and cryptic legal visitors shortly after 2019. Then came the money trail. Over £100,000 allegedly transferred within 6 weeks of Archie's birth. Not hush money, insurance. Insiders claim she was told to avoid press, sign a layered NDA, and disappear. The former royal staffer leaked that the deal was brokered by a third-party firm to protect the royal family's deniability. But if Meghan arranged this solo, then the palace was in the dark too. Where there's cash and silence, truth is never far behind. Why fake a pregnancy at all? For some, the answer is strategy, not scandal. Meghan was under intense pressure to produce a royal heir while maintaining control of her image. Using a surrogate would invite scrutiny, gossip, and possible rejection from royal traditionalists. But if she could appear pregnant, she could keep both the baby and the narrative. She wasn't just managing motherhood, she was managing a brand. Others argue there may have been medical reasons behind the decision, but instead of honesty, Meghan allegedly chose secrecy. And in a family built on protocol, that secrecy has consequences. When the brand matters more than the baby, deception becomes a tool. The internet exploded when video footage showed Meghan's baby bump shifting, folding, and appearing inconsistent in size. In one infamous clip, it seemed to collapse completely as she bent down, a moment that launched a million YouTube theories. Bumps don't bend like origami. Critics were dismissed as crazy conspiracy theorists, yet no clear explanation ever followed. Fashion experts tried to blame fabric, doctors refused to comment, and Meghan, she laughed it off. But that didn't stop the images from going viral, or from planting seeds of doubt in millions of minds. Sometimes the footage doesn't lie, it exposes. Prince Harry is usually composed, but right after Archie's birth, he looked off. Body language experts analyzed his interviews and spotted signs of discomfort. Tense jaw, shifting eyes, overly rehearsed statements. In one clip, he nervously said, "It's been the most amazing experience I could ever imagine," without once mentioning the delivery itself. He looked like a man trying not to slip. These weren't the cues of a proud, exhausted new father. They were signs of someone hiding something, or protecting someone else's lie. And if Meghan did fake the pregnancy, Harry's awkwardness wasn't just guilt, it was survival. Sometimes silence screams louder than words. The Oprah tell-all was supposed to address everything, but one topic never came up: Archie's birth. Oprah, known for asking the tough questions, danced around it. No talk of the delivery room, no labor story, nothing. Just a blur of race controversy, mental health, and royal tension. That wasn't an accident. That was a line in the sand. With a global audience hanging on every word, Meghan and Harry could have cleared the air once and for all, but they didn't. And in storytelling, omission is a choice, especially when it's the one mystery the world still can't explain. If the truth was innocent, why keep it buried? When Archie's birth certificate was finally made public, eagle-eyed readers noticed something bizarre. Meghan listed her occupation as Princess of the United Kingdom. But Meghan was never granted that title. Unlike Kate, she never officially became Princess Meghan. So why claim it on a legal document? Either someone forged it or Meghan filled it out herself. Royal documents are usually handled with precision, every word reviewed by staff. But this felt more like self-branding than formality. Some believe it was part of constructing a narrative fit for tabloids, documentaries, and eventually billion-dollar media deals. Truth leaves paper trails, but so do lies in disguise. Royal christenings are always photographed, always. But when Archie was baptized, Queen Elizabeth didn't show up, and no press were allowed. Instead, the Sussexes released a carefully curated photo after the fact, one where Archie's face was barely visible. The Queen doesn't skip major events without purpose. Insiders whispered she had serious concerns about the ceremony, and even raised questions about Archie's eligibility for royal titles. Whether it was health, protocol, or quiet protest, one thing was clear: this wasn't a normal royal event. It was carefully staged. Royal silence is louder than royal speeches. When Harry and Meghan relocated to Tyler Perry's Beverly Hills mansion, things got strange fast. Staffers reported hearing Archie crying in one wing, then hearing another baby crying in a different one. One Manny even asked, "Wait, which one is the baby?" 2 babies, 1 official child. Was one a stand-in for media appearances or something else entirely? The mystery deepened when Tyler Perry's team enforced unusually strict non-disclosure rules during their stay. Even now, former staff won't speak, at least not on record. But the rumors haven't stopped. Where there's smoke and secrecy, something's always burning. This isn't just gossip, it's potentially criminal. Several UK legal analysts have stated that if Meghan knowingly misrepresented her pregnancy in public documents or misled the monarchy for financial or positional gain, it could be considered fraud. Intent matters. So does money. Add in possible taxpayer-funded expenses and security costs surrounding the birth, and it becomes more than a personal decision. It becomes a matter of public accountability. If the surrogate claim holds up, the legal fallout could be massive. When image becomes currency, truth becomes collateral. Let's be clear. Using a surrogate isn't the problem. Millions do it, and there's no shame in the choice. The scandal lies in the secrecy, the deception, and the possible misuse of royal privilege to maintain an illusion. It's not the surrogate, it's the smokescreen. If Meghan and Harry had come forward transparently, the world likely would have embraced their decision. But by allegedly covering it up and then profiting off a misleading narrative, they may have crossed a moral and legal line. Truth hidden becomes poison, even if it started with good intentions. Multiple insiders claim that senior royal advisors were warned not to touch the Archie topic. Some were allegedly threatened with demotion, others steadily pressured to resign. One longtime staffer quietly quit and moved abroad, No farewell, no explanation. Loyalty or fear. Either way, that silence was bought. These weren't random aides. They were close to the Sussexes during the pregnancy timeline. And their sudden absence suggests something deeper, a coordinated effort to lock down the truth before it could leak. When trusted voices vanish, listen harder. In the much-hyped Harry and Meghan Netflix series, one thing stood out. Archie's early life was barely shown. No newborn footage, no candid delivery moments, just a few polished clips of a toddler in scenic backyards or moody lighting. For a couple obsessed with telling their truth, this felt oddly selective. What are they afraid we'll see? Insiders claim Netflix was given limited access, especially to any content involving Archie as a baby. It wasn't creative choice, it was legal shielding. If the birth story didn't align with reality, too much baby footage could unravel the entire illusion. Omissions in documentaries often tell the real story. The royal family has remained deathly silent about Archie's birth. No investigations, no clarifications, just cold indifference. But that silence is cracking. Whispers from within suggest King Charles has been briefed on the surrogate rumors. Some aides are even pushing for a private inquiry. Truth doesn't stay buried in Buckingham forever. And now that a surrogate has allegedly broken her NDA, the palace may be forced to respond. If not to protect the crown's credibility, then to contain the political fallout already brewing behind closed doors. Even royalty can't outrun reality forever. If concrete evidence surfaces, legal contracts, financial transfers, or testimony from the surrogate herself, the fallout could be catastrophic. Meghan and Harry's public image, already polarizing, could collapse overnight. Documentaries, book deals, and brand partnerships might vanish just as fast as they appeared. Reputation isn't bulletproof, especially when built on fiction. Even worse, the monarchy may feel compelled to act. Not out of malice, but to preserve its legitimacy. Titles could be revoked. Legal probes might follow, and public trust, it would take years to recover. Truth doesn't destroy people. Lies pretending to be truth do. Lilibet's birth was also surrounded by secrecy. No hospital confirmation, no named doctors, and minimal photos. Was it just another private moment, or part of a continuing pattern? With Meghan and Harry doubling down on controlling their image, many wonder, was Lilibet's story crafted the same way as Archie's? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. The royal PR machine can only spin so much. If both births were manipulated, then this isn't a one-time misstep. It's a calculated campaign. And the world may be watching a fairy tale that was forged. Repeat deception isn't a mistake. It's a strategy. So now you've seen the breadcrumbs. Vanishing midwives, a surrogate's payoff, a birth certificate that raises eyebrows, and a royal silence that speaks volumes. Whether this was a personal decision gone too far or a full-blown cover-up, one thing's clear. The truth about Archie isn't just missing, it may have been bought. And if this surrogate truly steps into the spotlight, everything could unravel. In our next video, we're diving into the shadow players behind the scenes, those who helped keep Meghan's secret hidden, and how much they were paid to stay quiet. You won't want to miss what we've uncovered.